Imagine living in fear of peanut butter sticking to the roof of your mouth. Like it's pizza night, everyone's stoked, but you're just staring at a jar of Jif, sweating. Yes, that's a real thing. People actually live with that. Stick around as we dive into the wonderfully weird world of bizarre phobias you never knew existed, because after this, your life is gonna feel way more normal. Hey there, everybody! I'm Nancy, and today we're steering clear of the ordinary fears. No spiders or heights here. Instead, we're going full-on, deep dive into the strangest, most unbelievable phobias that some people actually live with every single day. Warning, this might make you laugh out loud, or at least rethink your own quirky worries. You might even start making up your own phobias by the end of this. First up, we've got arachibutyrophobia, which is way more fun to say than it is to actually experience. We're talking about the fear of peanut butter sticking to the roof of your mouth. Imagine living in a constant state of war with your sandwich. That's their reality. The humble peanut butter jar turns into a Pandora's box, one spoonful away from triggering a sticky crisis. It's the classic battle of taste versus texture. And for folks with arachibutyrophobia, texture wins every single time. Forget crunchy versus smooth. It's more like run for the hills versus hide under the table. I mean, can you imagine explaining this one to your friends? Sorry, can't grab burgers. The peanut butter on the menu is giving me anxiety. Gets awkward fast. But hey, phobias don't discriminate. They're an equal opportunity annoyance. And if you're one of those brave souls who can conquer a peanut butter sandwich without breaking a sweat, well, consider yourself lucky. Next up is nomophobia, the fear of being without your phone or being out of contact. And this one, let's be honest, is getting real relatable for a lot of us. For those with nomophobia, a low battery can induce more panic than a horror movie marathon. Picture this. You're at a crowded concert, the music's pumping, you're having the time of your life, and then, bam! You reach into your pocket, and it's empty. No phone, instant cold sweats, heart racing. For someone with nomophobia, that's not just an inconvenience, that's a full-on crisis. Misplacing your phone becomes this existential nightmare. It's like losing a limb, or worse, like your connection to the outside world. Spotting that dreaded no-signal message is akin to being cast away on a deserted island with no hope of rescue. And forget about airplane mode. Airplane mode is basically their version of a horror film. Moving on to a fear that's, well, a little less relatable but no less real, xanthophobia, the fear of the color yellow. And I'm not talking about a mild aversion to mustard yellow. I'm talking full-on, can't look at a banana, gotta wear sunglasses inside kind of fear. Living with xanthophobia means steering clear of sunny days, rubber ducks, and that entire lemon section on the restaurant menu. Imagine the internal chaos when encountering a banana at the grocery store. They're truly not monkeying around. Think about it. Traffic lights, nightmare, Post-it notes, terror, a perfectly sunny day, might as well be the apocalypse. You know those smiley face emojis everyone loves? Yeah, not so much for these folks. More like frowny face, am I right? And forget about trying to brighten their day with a bouquet of sunflowers. That's basically like handing them a bouquet of tiny monsters. Chapter 4, Turophobia, when cheese gives you the blues. All right, cheese lovers, this one's for you. Or rather, it's about those who can't stand the stuff. We're talking turophobia, the fear of cheese. Yes, you heard me right. Cheese. That delicious, melty, gooey goodness that makes the world go round? Yeah, some people are absolutely terrified of it. Turophobes face a puzzling conundrum at pizza parties. Do they politely pick off the cheese while pretending to enjoy themselves? Do they risk social suicide and ask for a cheeseless pizza? These are the questions that haunt their waking hours. They dodge the dairy aisle like it's a minefield, carefully navigating their shopping carts around the cheddar, the brie, the mozzarella. Oh my! From camembert to cheddar, different cheeses bring out different levels of dread, and cheese commercials become horror movie trailers. Imagine their horror when someone whips out a cheese board at a party. It's like a scene out of Jaws, but instead of a shark fin, it's a hunk of Roquefort emerging from the depths of a great platter. Pogonophobia, the bearded mystery. Now let's talk about a fear that might make you chuckle. Pogonophobia, the fear of beards. Yes, those furry face adornments that are all the rage these days. Some people would rather face a swarm of bees than a well-groomed goatee. Pogonophobics might struggle at trendy coffee shops, dodging potential face fuzz encounters. Each beard is a mysterious enigma, from Gandalf-level wizards to fashionable stubble, sending them on an emotional roller coaster at every beard sighting. Imagine their plight during No Shave November. It's like their own personal horror movie marathon, but instead of zombies, it's just guys with increasingly bushy beards. The horror. And forget about family reunions, those are just breeding grounds for beard-related anxiety. Optophobia, the eye-opening dilemma. All right, folks, buckle up, because this next one is a doozy. Optophobia, the fear of opening one's eyes. We're not talking about being afraid of what you see. We're talking about the act of opening your eyes itself. With optophobia, waking up every day feels like starring in a suspense thriller. The fear of opening one's eyes turns into a careful negotiation with sunlight, pets, and alarm clocks every single morning. Imagine waking up in a dark room. For most people, it's just a minor inconvenience. But for someone with optophobia, that darkness is a safe haven, a comforting void. The thought of opening their eyes, of letting the light in, is enough to send shivers down their spine. And it's not just the light. It's the fear of what they might see, or rather, the fear of seeing. Every blink becomes a mini horror movie, the anticipation building until their eyelids slam shut again. Think about all the things we take for granted, watching a sunrise, reading a book, looking at a loved one's face. Chorophobia, dancing with disaster. Let's groove on over to our next phobia. Chorophobia, the fear of dancing. And I'm not talking about stage fright or two left feet. I'm talking about a deep-seated dread of anything remotely dance-related. For those with chorophobia, weddings and parties are minefields of potential dance disasters. Their motto might be, safe from the cha-cha, with impromptu dance circles presenting a bigger threat than a dodgeball match. Imagine this. The music starts pumping, the dance floor beckons, and everyone's busting a move. But for someone with chorophobia, it's like watching a horror movie unfold in slow motion. Their heart races, their palms sweat, and they break out in a cold sweat. The mere thought of moving their body rhythmically fills them with a sense of dread that's hard to explain. It's like their brain short-circuits at the mere suggestion of a two-step. And don't even get me started on the electric slide. Okay, this next one is a bit of a quack-up, anatidophobia, the fear of being watched by a duck. Yes, you heard me right. Ducks. Those cute, quacking creatures that waddle around parks? Some people are convinced they're up to no good. While technically fictional from Gary Larson's The Far Side comic, anatidophobia humorously plays on the absurd idea that somewhere, a duck is always watching you. And let's be honest, it's a pretty funny thing to imagine. Picture this. You're enjoying a picnic by the pond, soaking up the sun, when suddenly you feel a cold shiver down your spine. You turn around slowly, and there it is, a duck, staring at you with those beady little eyes. Coincidence? Or is it judging your sandwich choices? Next time you see a duck, remember, it might be judging your fashion sense. It might be plotting world domination. Or maybe, just maybe, it's just a duck going about its ducky business. All right, let's be honest, this next one hits a little close to home for some of us. Pantherophobia, the fear of your mother-in-law. And I'm not talking about a mild case of the in-law jitters. I'm talking full-on, can't be in the same room without breaking into a cold sweat kind of fear. Many jokes highlight pantherophobia, often less about the mythical terror and more about conjuring comedic images of sudden surprise visits. Every family dinner turns into a suspenseful meeting with a slightly suspect bowl of pasta salad. Imagine this. You're having a lovely dinner with your significant other. Everything's going swimmingly, when suddenly the doorbell rings. Your heart skips a beat. You know that ring. It's the ring of impending doom, or at least the ring that signals the arrival of your mother-in-law. And it's not like she's a bad person or anything. She's just intense. And finally, we come to a phobia that's sure to make you do a double take. Genophobia, the fear of knees. Yes, knees. Those knobbly joints in the middle of our legs? Some people can't even look at them without freaking out. Living with genophobia might turn choosing shorts into a brave feat. The anatomy class is a horror story come true for them, filled with discussions of kneecaps as issues beyond simple bends and breaks. Imagine this. You're at the beach, soaking up the sun, when suddenly you see it. A knee. Not just any knee, but a bare, exposed knee, right there in all its glory. Your heart starts to race, your palms get sweaty, and you have a sudden urge to build a sandcastle. A very tall sandcastle that will block your view of that terrifying knee. And it's not just other people's knees. It's their own knees, too. They can't look at them, touch them, or even think about them without feeling a wave of nausea wash over them. So next time you fear something odd, remember these phobias and know that the world is full of people battling their own curious fears, and often with a sense of humor. Whether it's the dread of a sticky peanut butter situation or the sheer terror of a rogue knee, we're all in this together, folks. If you enjoyed this peek into peculiar phobias, hit that like button and subscribe for more fun and quirky content. Which phobia made you laugh the most? Let me know in the comments and keep an eye out for our next video adventure. And hey, if you have a strange phobia you want to share, leave it in the comments below. You never know, you might inspire the next episode.